September, Sunday, 18th, I made a choice to have poutine. The real deal, you know, the French fries with the gravy and the real cheese curds. Big bowl of it. My wife kept telling me that, this doesn't sit with you well. You probably shouldn't eat so much, but I did. It was so good. Well, that same week, Thursday, I had to go to my PA because I hadn't pooped on Sunday. I just had gastric issues. I didn't know what was going on. And I tried everything on my own because I've had difficulties with gastric stuff in the past. And she said, well, I want you to take some laxatives and I want you to use an enema over the weekend and see if you can clear it up. So over the weekend I did. And come Monday, I called her up and said, seriously, it's not much better. I have these little Tootsie Roll poops. And I just don't feel good. For the last, almost a week now, I've had gas so bad that it wakes me up every hour and a half. I'm not even getting any sleep. I'm getting kind of miserable here. I need to do something. And she said, well, I got the way to really blast this out. What you're going to do is, anybody here ever had a colonoscopy, excuse me? Colonoscopy, yeah, if you're 50, you've had them. There's a prep they give you. She wanted me to take that prep for 3 days. First day went really good. Second day, not so well. So I called her Wednesday and said, I got halfway through and I threw up. Projectile vomiting. And just so you know, it tastes worse coming up than it went going down. And she said, well, stop the treatments, I guess. And I said, yes, of course. I'm not going to take it anymore. What do I do next? And she said, well, the closest appointment I can get you is Friday, and your primary care doctor is going to go ahead and give you an x-ray, and we'll find out what's going on. Yeah, I'm so ready to find out what's going on, because, we're going on 2 weeks now that I haven't had a regular meal. So Friday, he does the x-ray, and the radiologist tells him, the report said he's not constipated. No shit. Really? Are you sure? Because there's something wrong here. He said, yeah, I agree. I think what we need to do then is Monday, we're going to have you have a CAT scan. Well, I was all psyched to do that. But I was thinking over the weekend, my daughter, my wife and I talked about it, and what could it be? And I started to worry. Did I have twisted guts or something? My intestines were messed up, or what was it, like something really, really compacted and blocked in there? Or like my wife said, could it have been a tumor, cancer? My mind just started to overwhelm myself, and all of a sudden I just said, whoa, no, I got to reboot. I got to do something different. I'm only going to look at the next step. The next step is my CAT scan. And I'm not going to keep talking to people, because every time I talk to people about it, they keep telling me the possible things it could be, and it just made me more scared. So for a while there, I was making my wife and my daughters talk to people, because I didn't want to tell them the story anymore of what I've gone through, because I didn't know. We knew nothing. I found out something Monday, the CAT scan. 30 minutes later on the ride home, my doctor called me. It was pretty quick. He said, Vernon, can you pull over? I said, yeah. In a parking lot, I found out that I had a tumor in my small bowel and that it really needed to come out, and the best he could do is a Wednesday surgical consult. So in the meantime, I worked Tuesday because, what else are you going to do? I didn't have to worry now because I'm not taking any laxatives. I'm not taking, he told me to stop everything, take clear liquids. It's pretty much in there, whatever it is. So I worked Tuesday, and then Wednesday, my wife and my daughter and I went, and the surgeon couldn't do the operation until the following Monday. And being who I am, I said, well, I guess, if that's the best that you can do, I understand. And of course, my daughter, who's a pit bull, by the way, if you ever need an advocate, she says, well, wait a minute, not to be rude or anything to you, doctor, but You need to know that he's been, for over 2 weeks now, been very uncomfortable, not sleeping. You know, he hasn't eaten, he's lost weight. She said, no, I didn't know that. Sounds like this is more critical. I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can find someone else. My wife and I got as far as Kennebunk. We live in Sanford. And the doctor told us to turn around. I found you someone that's going to do it after his normal surgical hours tomorrow, Thursday. On October 6th, we did have that operation. And I'll tell you, the operating room team at Maine Med had never found a more positive patient to work with. I mean, they got the IV and my arm went out and I said, start it. They asked me a question and I answered it and I said, you know what? Whatever I can do to help you guys get this fucking tumor out of my body, I am ready. I am so ready. So they did. It took them about 5.5 hours. Now, I don't remember everything because it was a little loopy, but pretty much what he told my family was that he's done this so many times that he knew what it was. And it would take a while for the oncologist to give us the report, but because it was wrapped around 2 lymph nodes and wrapped around part of my colon, which he had to do a colonostomy, so I have my own little PFD if I go swimming in a pool. I have a little bag in front. So, you know, he said that this is a lymphoma. This is a malignant cancer, but it's curable. And you'll find that out in a couple weeks. Well, I heard this, blah, 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 curable. I'm gonna live, reboot. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna make choices that will help me get better. My choices were to follow his directions, and that was just do clear liquids, eat a meal when I can eat a meal, a solid meal for 24 hours, they'll let me out, get up, walk around, I will do all of that stuff. And the other thing that I found out was people there were sad and depressed, and they still were going through the same situation. I was happy and healthy and was still going through the same situation. You can choose. You got your colostomy, you still have to have the pain and go through everything the same. So I choose happy. And to make that choice even easier, I have friends at a venue called The Corner. And when I was in the hospital, one of my darkest times, they all did this. Back at you. Thanks a lot, The Corner.